Thank you again for tuning in with Talking with Tatum on Wilson County Television. This is another one of our series of speaking with one of our county commissioners. And today we're tickled to have with us Miss Cyndi Bannach of District 2, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us
You're
this
welcome.
afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
Well, this is an opportunity for viewers to be able to find out a little bit about people who are involved and run government on a local level. And frankly, without your support, we wouldn't be able to produce this show and the other shows on Wilson County Television. But it's not about us, it's about you. If you would, tell us a little bit about where you grew up and your family or any other interests you have before we move into your time on the county commission.
Okay. Well, I'm Cyndi Bannach. I live in Mount Juliet since I moved to Mount Juliet in 2000. I married my husband, who was a Mount Juliet graduate, in 1994. Sorry, we just celebrated 25 years of
Congratulations.
marriage. Thank you.
Yeah.
For good. Time flies.
It does, especially
So,
when you're having fun.
That's right. That's right. You know, I still feel like I'm 16. But I grew up in Goodlettsville. I've lived in Tennessee all of my life, so I'm a Tennessee fan. Kind of grew up Vanderbilt fan, but married Tennessee fan. So you know, sports is was a big part of my life growing up. But
some people would say you saw the light and
you're right.
become a Tennessee fan.
Yeah, for real. Mike Jennings would, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Jennings would definitely say that, and several others.
Yeah, I went to Davidson Academy, graduated from there, and then got a sports scholarship, and that kind of got me into Wilson County. I went to Cumberland, and got my undergraduate in physical education, and so.
You said you got a sports scholarship. Sports a big thing in high school?
Yes. I played basketball and volleyball and softball.
Okay, and then you got a sports scholarship to Cumberland, and you played a sport there? Or
yes, I played volleyball and softball at Cumberland.
Okay, well, great.
Yeah.
And graduated with a degree in education.
Correct.
And where did you and your husband meet? Where did y'all?
Funny, we met at the YMCA in Donaldson.
Okay.
We were both working and doing kids camps.
Okay.
The summer kids camps, because I did it in my senior year at Cumberland to get experience on my work applications. So that's how we met.
Okay, and of course your husband is Adam
Correct,
Bannach,
yes,
and
Adam
he's a former county commissioner.
Yes, he served 4 terms.
I'm sorry?
I think he served 4 terms.
Okay, had been on there a while.
Yes.
And but your career and focus was getting into education, and you didn't just stop with a bachelor's degree in education, you furthered it later on.
Yes. In 2002, we got, Adam and I, we both went through Trevecca and got our master's in educational leadership. Okay. So we could be principals if we wanted to be.
And, but currently you are working in the school system.
Yes,
Tell us about what you do and how long you've been there.
In 2000 is when I became a physical education teacher at Mount Juliet Elementary, and so I get to work with students in kindergarten through 5th grade and get to play all day.
That requires a tremendous amount of energy, I would think.
Yes. Sometimes, some days you feel like you're herding cats.
Well, how many students do you work with at any given time during the day?
About, on an average, 20. Some classes 18, some classes 26.
So they're not bringing in the whole 3rd grade for you to work at one time?
No, not typically. On occasion, I've handled that many students, but not.
Well, that would
not
really,
not on a regular basis. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that on a regular basis.
Do you have assistants who help you in your classwork?
No, it's just me. There have been times when I've team taught because the school was larger, right? You know, and so we had more students. But for the most part, it's just me and the kids.
And you've been at Mount Juliet Elementary since 2000?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And during that time, you and Mr. Bannach have also started a family of your own.
We have.
And y'all have got some children. Tell us about them.
We have 2 daughters, Carolina Joy, who is a freshman at Mount Juliet High School, and then Addison Noel is a 4th grader at Mount Juliet Elementary. So
is she one of the students that comes to your class from time to time?
Yes, I got to teach Carolina, and I have Addison.
How does that work? Because I never had that experience when you have your own child in class. Do they look for any kind of special treatment, or do you
The
run
younger
them?
one does a little bit more. The older one didn't,
She didn't want
Yeah,
want
she
anybody to
didn't.
know that was
Right,
mom.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you made a career in education, and
Mm-hmm.
and your husband has a career in education as
He
well.
does. In fact, he's teaching at Tatum Academy.
Well, we like to call that the alternative school on there. I'm honored to have that name, but I tell people I was just one spit wad away from being an alternative school myself. But he's got a career in education, but he kind of was the first member of your household to
Yes.
go for public office.
Yes.
And but now you're on the county commission, and had you ever had it in the back of your mind that I would like to run for office someday?
Actually, no. The only time but I knew he was not interested and felt like he had enough time to serve the county, and he wasn't wanting to continue, and so I thought, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then I was like, well, who's going to replace you? And so I kind of got nervous, and that's when I first thought, I was like, well, maybe I could do it.
And he was supportive
He
of
was
that,
supportive,
obviously.
yes,
of it.
yes.
Now, that might have given you a little bit of a leg up on people who are coming into the county commission new,
Right, yes.
to realize how much
Yes.
work is actually involved behind the scenes.
Yes, because when Adam first became a commissioner, we didn't have children, and so I would come to all the meetings with him, and so I had a really good idea of what was involved and what I was getting into.
And
I made it a little less scary too.
well, that's another thing. There's a fear factor involved
Yeah,
in it, but
yeah.
there's probably a fear factor of putting your name on the ballot too. I mean, you're putting it
Right.
out there to either be voted in or rejected.
Yeah, yeah.
In a way, how did
Yeah.
that feel for somebody that
Well-
hasn't experienced that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never even ran for a high school class office or anything, but I just wanted to be a good example for my daughters and for my students, and just have a, well, go for it
Yeah.
attitude, and you never know unless you try. So
Right.
I was just willing to try, and it turned out okay for me.
Well, and you're in which? How many years have you been on the county commission now?
Just one. We finished 1 year.
Okay,
So,
so
I'm in the
this-
second year.
So this is your first term.
First
on there.
term, yes.
And there was no. Your husband was commissioner for second District 2.
Yes,
And,
for 1 term, and District 18 for 3 term, 2.5.
And that was
terms.
because y'all had changed your residence. and
Yes, yes.
You have to live in the
Yes.
district in which you represent.
Right.
Well, even though you had a leg up and you attended a lot of meetings in support of him when he first started, has there been anything that's been a surprise for you now that you're actually in the seat and have the chance to push the button and be involved and have a vote on committees?
No, I mean, everything's kind of new, but nothing,
No real surprises.
no real surprises, I don't think.
Well, in the time that your husband was involved, and now that you've seen it, we've heard commissioners talk about the growth issue, and about our oldest high school now is less than 20 years old. Y'all have been an integral part of that. Is there
Yes.
anything in the last 10, 15 years of y'all's involvement in the county commission as a family that stands out that you would say, we could have done this better, this was done the right way, or
Right,
we
yeah,
missed an
yeah.
opportunity somewhere, anything like
No,
that?
I was just very, very glad that a new Mount Juliet Elementary was built, because when Adam was first running, we still had the old Mount Juliet Elementary, and that's where I started teaching. And so I was very glad when that building was torn down.
It
in the
kind of
county.
served its purpose.
Yes, it had
for
served its
several
purpose.
generations.
Yes, yes. My mother-in-law graduated from that building. So,
Well, it's if it's any consolation, my dad went to the high school that's now where the jail is. So
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what that says.
yeah, well, we get good use out of our buildings here.
Well, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
it's taxpayer dollars.
That's right.
And we hope to have people who are in government to be responsible for spending our tax dollars and spending them wisely.
That's right, yeah.
And I guess fiscal responsibility with anybody is a priority with somebody in elected office. And is that something that interests you, or you try to be a watchdog for that?
Yes, yes, I want to be a good steward of the county's money, and as I do with our family. So that's
Yeah,
well,
and that's really a
principles we were
big part
raised
of it,
on.
being
Yeah.
a mother and a wife and homemaker and having a career. That's one of the things that you have to balance in there.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the growth, we've tried to talk with this with all of our county commissioners. That's one of the things, if you talk to any elected official at the city level, at the county level, or at the state level, we're benefiting right now from being in a growth surge.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may say it's a curse. But as far as the growth issues facing Wilson County, and particularly in District 2 and the western side of the county, what are some things that you would like to see happen or try to avoid in that as far as the growth goes?
Well, I don't want it to stop, so try to just support it and,
Right.
and be helpful in any way that I can. So.
Yeah. Well, it's running for office on there. I try to ask people who may have entertained that thought, whether they're young or whether they've had a career and they're slowing down and they're looking for some other way to contribute. What would you like to say, offer as a word of advice, or from your experience firsthand, or what you've seen through your husband, to somebody that may be thinking about getting involved? What would you like to tell them?
If you're thinking about getting involved, just go for it and come to meetings and just call people and don't be afraid to step out.
Well, that's a big thing, is the fear of failure, and that's something that you've obviously overcome.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add in the last minute or so that we have here on our program?
No, I think I appreciate you having me, and I'm just grateful to be able to serve the constituents and the people of District 2.
All right, and one thing I didn't ask you about on that, District 2, geographically, give us an idea about where that is.
It's Willoughby Station neighborhood mostly, and Hickory Hills neighborhood, and then Old Lebanon Dirt Road back towards the Davidson County line.
Okay, so south of Lebanon Road, Highway 70,
Yes.
to, I guess, what would be Old Lebanon. They call it Old Lebanon Dirt Road.
That's what I know it as, yeah.
And, or I guess they would call it West Division Street.
Yeah.
And all the way to the Davidson County line. All right. Well, thank you again. And one of the things I would like to offer to give you is Talking with Tatum coffee cup.
Thank you.
You can put some soup in it, or a cup of coffee, or you can plant a flower.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.